It's time for Xfinity Series qualifying. We follow both going through Chicago River here and the skyline of Chicago. Qualifying about to get underway. 43 cars are here, but a field of only 38. Steve, you want to be on Chicago.
So I was going to, okay, it's amazing. Everything's amazing, without a doubt, right? We have the lake, we have the shoreline. But the river through the city, to me, that's my favorite part. And just as we walk around the city, when you cross that river, the restaurants, the shops, kind of on the edge of that river, that is, I'm trying to, you know, when you think about New York and Chicago and Boston, this is Chicago to me, right? The river right there, it's unbelievable. Although I'll be honest, Grant Park, I never made it all the way over here in my past trips. But now that there's a racetrack here, I made my way over, and it has a lot to offer.
By the way, in St. Patrick's Day, that river becomes green. They put a little dye in there, and
I like it
for St. Patty's Day.
I like the shots.
Qualifying about ready to get underway, and we'll send two groups out there. I mentioned 43 cars here for 38 spots. 5 will have to go home. There's an alternate start-finish line also, Steve, that we've got to be aware of. That way they can get onto pit road. Again, two groups, 15-minute groups as far as qualifying goes, and then the top 5 from each group are going to advance to the final 10-minute round.
So instead of using the normal start-finish line, which would force every driver to make 2 full laps, really 3 laps, that is the alternate start-finish line. So you leave pit road, you come around. This is exiting turn 11 right in front of Jeff Burton. As they climb the hill, this starts their lap. They come back around, they finish their lap. So that's just 2 laps on the track. If it was using the regular start-finish line, it becomes more traffic, more cars rolling around slow. We've seen this done at a lot of road courses. I think it works wonderfully.
So again, the first group is underway. This group will be Cole Custer, Lane Perkins, Kyle Weatherman, Spencer Papelli, Joey Gase, Josh Berry, Brandon Jones, Justin Marks, Daniel Hemrick, John Hunter Nemechek, Parker Chase, Brett Moffitt, Parker Retzlaff, Alex Gunnett, Ryan Ellis, Parker Kligerman, Preston Pardis, Jeremy Clements, Anthony Alfredo, Miguel Peludo, and Josh Williams, all part of this first group.
And Rick, I'd love to handicap it. Normally we would talk about who is good in practice, but I'll be honest, between learning a brand new racetrack, the wet start, the wet tires, slicks going on, I really don't know who I think the best is. Now, some cars were very good. John Hunter was good. He had a little issue. Justin Marks was very good. So there are cars we think will be fast, but I can't tell you with any sort of real confidence who I think the favorite is here in qualifying.
John Hunter Nemechek rocketing down to Sabo Lakeshore Drive into turn 4. We saw speeds over 160 miles an hour going into that turn.
It's crazy. So now he's going to take the right-hander out of turn 5, going back onto Columbus, heading back towards the start-finish line. Right, they split the same street. Left-hand 90-degree corner, turn 6. That'll put him on Balbo, which has a bridge over some train tracks, an elevated bridge with some elevation, Jeff. And I think this is one of the toughest braking zones because as he crests the bridge down, look at this bump right here. That is a heavy bump for these cars to navigate under braking.
Yeah, it really is, Steve. And now that we're qualifying, it really matters. So now the drivers are going to be pushing really hard trying to make something happen. And, of course, we know that's when mistakes do occur. John Hunter Nemechek, look how the left side tires all but come off the ground. Heavy braking zone, a very sharp right-hander. Now go to the gas quick to get that start-finish line. P1 for John Hunter Nemechek. Good lap.
And to give you an idea, right, that 1:31.6, that's a solid half a second, 0.6 of a second faster than Justin Marks ran in practice, which was the fastest. So how about John Hunter, though? So he did cross the alternate start-finish line, but this car is obviously set up for multiple laps. So this is an option. Now the 20 is going to head up to turn 2.
Steve, his comfort level definitely high because he's 2 seconds faster than what he ran in practice. He ran a 93-second lap in practice and already a 91-second lap here in qualifying.
You see the 9 of Brandon Jones. Oh, I believe that's right in the middle of 4 and 5. So Jeff Burton explained it earlier why that is 2 corners. You almost want to make it an arc. You kind of enter 4, keep the car turning for the exit of 5. Now he's down in the very narrow section heading into turn 11 across that alternate start-finish line. As we were talking, Cole Custer goes to the top of the board by over a half a second over Nemechek. Nemechek, though, we saw was on a second lap. We'll see what he does there, as well as Jones is continuing on.
the green marks beside the drivers' names means that they are on track and being scored as far as on the clock.
So we talk a lot about like the geographical location in Chicago and the street names. For me, as a crew chief, I break this track down into really 2 sections. I have high speed, which is where the 9 is right here. This is the high-speed section heading up Lakeshore Drive, heading towards turn 4. We're going to go up. We're going to take a right in 4 and a right in 5. As we see, I want to show you guys, this is where he hit the wall before, was right there. Now he's back in turn 5, still in the high-speed section, 90-degree corners. Now we're heading down Columbus to turn 6. When you take the left through turn 6, you leave what I consider the high-speed section, and now we are into the technical section. From turn 7 all the way around to turn 11, Jeff, this is kind of like the S's at Sonoma, the S's at Watkins Glen. This is the area where you may not pass, but you have to be very precise with your car placement.
Yeah, it's so tight right there. That corner exit, it's so easy to hit that wall on the outside. And now a major elevation change. It's hard to see it on TV. Now it kind of crests the hill. Now he's back downhill. And you can't see anything as you make this right-hander. Now you got to immediately be on the brakes and get the car turned, and again, go to the gas quickly right there. There's our start-finish line. And if you're Brandon Jones, guys, I mean, he hit the wall pretty hard. I mean, how much confidence do you have at that point that your car isn't hurt? And I think that made that second lap even harder, more difficult for Brandon.
He was faster than what his practice lap was, at least his best practice lap, which was 94 seconds. He was right there. We saw him at 93 seconds.
Josh Berry, I mean, last week he was the man of all conversation, right? He's announced to go into the 4 car to replace Kevin Harvick. I know he is very thankful to get that news kind of behind him and off his shoulders. Now he's here tackling a brand new racetrack and focus forward.
He was able to get 19 laps in practice. We'll see if he can convert what he learned during practice into true speed here in this qualifying effort. Again, the top 5, and we've got the line now, the top 5 will go to the second round of qualifying.
So when I look at this track, majority rights, so I can set my car up for the rights. I can help my driver, if Josh Berry's my guy, with this right-hander, and I can help him through this right-hander turn 8. But this is what makes turn 9 this big, sweeping. You know, I'm looking at the green, he's wide. You see the left front tire coming on and off the ground, tapping the brakes. Some of those left-handers are kind of up to the driver. You're going to have to, I can't make your car perfect in both directions. I couldn't make a car perfect in either direction. So for sure, we're not going to
good. I don't know what you're talking about, Steve. You had a lot of success on the pit box.
There's a perfect example about how the 8 had to run a little high because a car coming to pit road through turn 12. This is the shot right here. Watch this braking left-hander. So my question is, you know, what kind of infractions is our man Josh Berry got? He's about 100 miles an hour over the speed limit on Lakeshore, maybe 110.
Throwing the book at him.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Elevation change there. We talked about it as Justin Marks pressed the hill and back into right now that difficult section we've talked about. Turn 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
He isn't on his lap yet. I believe he's coming to take the green because of that alternate start finish. So right here, he's going to take this right-hander and start his lap. And I think this is, first of all, great paint scheme. Jockey, very recognizable kind of red, white, and blue paint scheme. 4th of July weekend. I mean, what could be cooler? Justin Marks, he might be a Cup team owner, but he is a road course experienced driver. He's won an Xfinity Series race before, so let's see what his lap looks like on the front stretch. Heading down Columbus, going to take a left onto Balbo. Turn 1. Then he's going to head over to turn 2, which is where John Hunter Nemechek has wheel hopped and had issues before, right here on the right-hander, Rick.
Yeah, he gets to this turn here and then hard on the gas as he will go down the longest straight, and we're calling it a straight even though this turn 3 here, we call it a kink, but that's the longest they'll be fully on the gas until he slows it down into turn 4.
Yeah, that turn 4, guys, that is just a big sweeping corner. It's not, you know, it's not a 90-degree corner like most of the other ones, and you're able to go back to the throttle so much sooner than you would think when you look at it on paper. It's just lets you carry so much speed. rather than slowing it down. And then you see Justin just pushing this car. It's amazing how much body roll these cars have in them. Right side tire is all but off the ground right there. You see, not a ton of rear grip. Justin trying to find it. Hear the tires squealing. He's pushing really hard. There's nothing left that he has. Look at that car. It's sliding around. Here he comes to me. I'm going to try to carry heavy braking into here, and now go to the throttle quick. Go quick. Let's see what he ended up getting there. P4. Just felt like he pushed really hard, guys, and the car just didn't have the side grip he was looking for.
And I wonder how much Daniel Hemrick was learning as we see the tires locking up there.
It's down into turn 4.
Yeah, Steve, that right front lockup, I think, is something we will see frequently in that corner because the car is leaned over. They're going so fast. The car is leaned over. The right front tire is light. And so when you go to apply the brake, the left front starts to really work well, and the right front can't keep up. So I think that's going to be a problem we see all weekend, especially if you're trying to overtake someone.
So why do the cars roll that much? Why do the front tires come off the ground? It's simply because think about a car as a table, 4 legs. When we go to an oval, you could keep the legs very stiff in the back, which is pushing the front legs on the ground. But here, as we watch Parker Kligerman go around the course, you want those rear legs soft and grippy. That's how the rear tires get traction. Well, as you turn and that rear leg kind of goes down, just like a table, if one leg's shorter, what happens to the right front? It pops up. We've all been in that restaurant where the table won't sit level. So think about that as one corner is very soft, the other corner pops into the air. That's kind of what you're seeing with these cars trying to add grip.
Coming up to speed here.
I feel like this is a big weekend for Parker Kligerman. He has a lot of confidence in himself on road courses. And this is the road course in which no one has been on until this morning. And I think he views this as an opportunity to take advantage of what he believes is his strength, and that is being adaptable. That's good on road courses, pushing the limit but not crossing the limit. Parker's very hyped up coming into this event, feeling like he can make something great happen.
And I want it to work for Parker, but I won't lie. I don't think I have the heart to tell him that, but I was a little concerned at his level of kind of hype. Like, you know, sometimes you could put too much on your own abilities, right? He's a very good race car driver, and I think this team continues to improve with him in the seat.
Balbo, 100 miles an hour on that little stretch.
Hey, speaking of which, I want to take a minute right here. The owner of this race team, Scott Borchetta, we saw him in Nashville in a very serious racing accident back in March. It was well documented on social media. It was great to see him back to the racetrack. So if he's watching, Scott, it was great to see you get back to the racetrack. It's great that, you know, that we were in Nashville, that big Nashville focus, Big Machine Records in this 48 car.
Yeah, I had forgotten about the big accident.
I know.
When we walked into the elevator and he was in a wheelchair, it's like, whoa, wait a second, Scott, what's going on? He said, well, I still am healing. So the healing process continues for him.
Yeah, lost brakes on a road course. It was crazy. So
as we see Parker Kligerman now on Michigan Avenue.
Yeah, I think right there you see John Hunter Nemechek in front of him. That's difficult. Like, that's a bit of a distraction. It takes away your visibility a little bit. I know you race like that, but now it's about making lap time in a Q run. Wonder if that hurt him just a little bit. Let's see where he came in. Oh, P5.
That'll advance. Remember, the top 5 get another shot to run again. So Parker did what he could do. I think he's got to feel really good. And how about this? Justin Marks not in the top 5. I would have lost that bet.
And only 36 seconds remaining for this group, and if he's not out there and able to get across the start line before that clock expires, then he will not have an opportunity to break back into the top 5.
And while I don't want to create that this is going to be chaos, because these drivers are professionals and they've shown how they can adapt to a racetrack. Oh man, big hit for the 07.
Yeah,
Spencer
Capelli.
What I was getting ready to say is this. It's not that it's chaos, but it is narrow. It's a street course. That's what happens at street courses. So if the 9th car in line hits that barrier in turn 4, just like Spencer did, What happens to the next 10 cars? It can have a little bit of a super speedway type pileup.
Back up to speed for Pumpelly. The clock has expired now, so those that aren't on a lap, they will not be able to get another one here. That sliding coming into turn 4. Man.
And you know that, if we go back, then we're going to, you see that impact. If we could see the first replay again, I want you to look at the tire barrier. I know it's great to watch the race car, but that tire barrier is there, and there's a gap between the two tire barriers on purpose. Right? Everyone thinks you want cushion and all these things, but look at this gap between the two tire barriers. That's an air gap on purpose. What makes things safer is allowing them to slide and absorb the impact. So you see, you know, just that couple of feet, everything slows down a little bit more. I've been very impressed with a lot of things about Chicago and the city, but I think what impressed me the most is all of the safety, the walls, the tires. Look at this. This is the drone shot of what the drivers are approaching this turn 3. It's not really a corner as far as handling goes, but it definitely makes the visuals of entering turn 4. And then you see when you get to the end of turn 4, there's some runoff, which I really, really appreciate in case you had a big issue. So we saw the impact in these tire barriers right here. If you have a bailout issue, there's runoff this direction. But the goal is to just miss those tire barriers, basically where Brandon Jones touch and make that arc. That's the fast way through that area. And then this right here, that's our old buddy Dale Jr. right there. He's not there for qualifying, but he's going to have a good view for the race.
5 have already locked themselves in to the second round. It's Custer, Moffitt, Nemechek, Hemrick, and Kligerman.
Back from a sunny Chicago. It is a nice day. The Peacock Pit Box in the middle of Grant Park. Buckingham Fountain right behind us. Marty Sider, the NASCAR team owner, and NBA legend Brad Daugherty joining me here. Hey, you're a NASCAR fan since you were a kid. Are you pinching yourself that these Xfinity Series cars driving 140 miles an hour through the streets of downtown Chicago?
I'm shocked. I don't know what to say. I mean, like I say, it's an overwhelming experience because of the speed, the noise, the sound, the atmosphere. Look at this location. I mean, this is absolutely beautiful.
We've had about 40 fans come up and say, hey, Brad Daugherty, what's going on?
This is just absolutely incredible. So I'm excited to see these guys get rolling. I want to see some competition. I want to see how it's going to play out. But so far, it's been just magnificent.
What do you think about the iconic names of the streets here in downtown Chicago? Lakeshore, right in front of Lake Michigan. That's so cool, isn't it? That's turn 3 and turn 4, which you've had your eye on the entire time.
Been watching turn 4. These guys are going to come boogieing down Lakeshore Drive 160 miles an hour and dive into turn 4. This is just remarkable to look at, and kudos to NASCAR. This is take a yeoman's effort to put this in place, and this is absolutely done very, very well.
And then Columbus on around the corner from there. How about that?
Columbus is beautiful, man. A couple of good pizza spots down there on Columbus. Of course, I know that.
Yeah, I know you know that, yeah. And you said it a moment ago, 160 miles an hour there on the backstretch for the Cup Series cars. That's going to be crazy. And, of course, Michigan Ave as Group B rolls here for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. The most iconic street maybe in Chicago.
Yeah, that is a beautiful, beautiful street. I've been here in the wintertime a lot playing basketball. It's usually pretty cold. It's kind of neat to be here when it's nice and warm and listening to our stock cars thunder down that street.
That's the crazy part, is that it's just so noisy here. It's so much fun to watch, but just these shots are just incredible of downtown Chicago as Group B rolls here for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. And look at that. Wow. Downtown alive and buzzing. NASCAR is in town. We're having some fun on a beautiful day. Kim Kuhn, what's going on down on pit road?
Well, Marty, the people of Chicago are really embracing NASCAR being right in the middle of the city. The teams are all staying close to the course, and they've really gotten a sense of how interested people are in what is happening downtown. I talked with crew chief for Daniel Hemrick, Jason Trincheri, this morning, and he said they're staying over near Willis Tower, and that's about 3/4 of a mile away, and they've been walking back and forth to the course each day. And when they're doing that, they're, of course, in their crew uniforms. And people on the sidewalks and streets, when they've seen them in their uniforms, have been cheering them on during their commute. And he said it just gets you excited for everything this weekend, seeing people really embrace NASCAR. Hey,
I hope Brad's still on, because if he is, sausage, pepperoni, one of those pizza joints. I mean, if you want to just put an order in for us, Brad.
We would be fine with that.
I'm ready. I'm in.
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, Brad, you mentioned it. Columbus, Michigan Avenue, so many just iconic hotels, restaurants, stores.
Something I didn't take into consideration is I've been getting a bunch of communications from some friends that are all around town, and they say, hey, you know, this was great because we were just in Chicago, we were on that street, or we were in that exact location. You know, a lot of people get to come to great racetracks, but rarely do they get on the racetrack. Here, the racetrack are the public streets. So, you know, people I know, people that are listening, have driven down Lakeshore Drive, right? They have turned right here onto Roosevelt. Like, they've kind of lived these different corners, which I think gives them a great perspective of just what these guys are doing and how challenging it is.
Sammy Smith here in the 18 as we see him crest 140 miles an hour before he turns 6 here and heads to turn 7. Again, Jeff Burton has called this the most technical part of the racetrack.
Yeah, Sammy Smith is really pushing hard. Look at that car. You can see the side grip. Remember, these drivers only have, you know, about 50 minutes max on this racetrack, so they're all learning on the fly here. And now in qualifying, you're just going to have to keep pushing the limits and finding it. And he is getting it. I mean, he is in heavy. He almost wrecked getting into turn 11 right here. He made it work, but he was in deep. 131.58. That would have been third in the first group, so that was a good lap.
Yeah, that's probably a park it on pit road and wait until that next round.
But you got to be careful because, remember, I believe this track is just going to get faster from lap 1 to the end of the day Sunday. Regular streets have oil and grit and grime from everyday traffic. While that is attempted to be cleaned by track services, nothing cleans it better than race cars. And I just wonder, as we see Creed go 130.70, fastest lap we've seen today, this track is picking up pace every time out.
0.3 of a second faster than what we saw out of Cole Custer.
Yeah, Steve, that's a great point. But what I think that does allow you to do, you see 11 minutes still left in this. Sammy Smith, I thought he made a mistake over here in 11. There's time to recover. Like, he can come back out. The track's not getting slower. He can come back out and lay a lap time down. And then if you're Allgaier, who's sitting there in third, if you're Mozak in second, can you sit and wait? Or are you going to have to go to keep someone from beating you? I think that's going to be some difficult decisions for some of these crew chiefs.
The other thing, Jeff, is we see sliding coming through turn 12. The other thing is they don't have actual experience on the racetrack other than that 50-minute practice they had earlier. Is this another opportunity to learn more about the racetrack?
Well, that's a great point. Anytime you can get lap time, it's a great thing. The problem is, Steve, you don't have any tires you're going to need in the race. Like, we just don't really have a sense yet of tire fall off, the kind of race we're going to get. So you hate to put too many laps on this set of tires. You might need them in the race.
Yeah, so the drivers can make it on one stop for fuel, but the question is, what will tire wear be?
Dexter Stacy there in the 66, sliding behind Ryan Sieg. Here's Sage Karam. Testing the limits.
I think that's going to be, you know, we have the Darlington stripe. Maybe that's the, you know, the Chicago touch or box out or whatever you want to call it. Soldier Field is kind of close to here. Maybe that's what, you know, like a good block, like an offensive line, because I think everyone's going to touch some sort of wall surface, although Sage jumps into the 5th position.
And there's a good example. Like, Sage Karam missed that corner, and he's sitting there in 5th, and he knows there's some for him to go get. So he's going to be telling his team, look, I made a mistake. There's some time and some speed, so they're going to have to be prepping that car to go back and make another run.
There's Chandler Smith. And Chandler up over the bridge and headed towards turn 7. And Michigan Avenue right here. You see him about 0.6 of a second off of what is 5th by Sage Karam. Top 5 will advance into the next round.
Look at that car sliding around. You know, it just looks like it's, you know, it just doesn't have the overall grip he wants it to. The front wasn't turning great. The rear wasn't hooked up as much as he wanted it to be. Let's see what he does right here. He's gone past alternate start-finish line. Is he going to make another lap? Nope, he's going to bring it in.
Chandler Smith 8th fastest, so that doesn't move him into the next round. The top 5 of each of the groups will go one more round.
Yeah, this is coming to the alternate start-finish line. He just went over it right there, and that's just knowing that that line is there and trying to go to the throttle probably a little sooner than he needed to try to get to that line as quickly as possible.
Here's Austin Hill, and we have seen great success out of Austin Hill on road courses. How will he do on a street course? You see him just casually making his way around the track right now.
It's one and the same, Rick. It's like just a road course with walls everywhere. Everywhere you turn.
Everywhere.
Look at that. I mean, that's what it's really all about.
Yeah, earlier during practice, Jeff had said he's off course. And I was like, wait a second. How do you get off course when you've got 4.4 miles of barriers around you?
I mean, Austin Hill, really impressive season, right? 3 wins. Puts him solidly into the playoffs. Just looking to score more and more of those playoff points to make the playoffs easier. So it's interesting to see how easy he's kind of tiptoeing around, saving those tires. He's going to pick up the pace here now. His lap will start after this right-hand corner as he climbs the hill. That white line right there. So now the 21 of Hill is on his lap. So let's follow him around. Heading into turn 12, right-hand corner. Now onto the front stretch. You see corner exit in the mid 50-mile-an-hour range. Top speed on the front stretch. I think we've seen almost 130, north of 130. I saw 131, 132. Left-hander. Now with the Cup cars later, we'll also have a gear selector. They have 5 speeds in a Cup car. That'll be able to show us exactly where they're shifting and how they're shifting. Austin Hill turns on the Lakeshore. Has the fastest commute in Chicago history down Lakeshore.
Hard on the brakes here into turn 4.
Trying to connect 4 and 5 right here. Very treacherous, narrow, kind of threading a needle. Very important to thread that needle note, because then you come back to one of the second longest straightaway, really. Back towards turn 6.
And Austin still not fast enough to make it into the top 5 unless he can find something here 7 through 11.
And that's, Jeff has told us, technical and a lot of speed, Jeff. So he's about 0.2 of a second. We'll see if Hill can do it.
Yeah, that's not a place to try to find it on corner entry right there. There's a lot of trouble waiting for you. Austin Hill kind of sticking around that 2 to 0.4 of a second off. Rolled the middle of the loop really well. Gained some time. Really made good time there. Made a lot of time up, actually. Now he's got good throttle. I can hear him in the throttle. Really good rear grip. Up to P3 in the top 5.
So, Jeff, look how much time he gained from that loop, Congress loop, back over. I mean, that was almost a half a second in just 3 corners.
Yeah, and then, look, I think it's just so much opportunity down here because you said it's so technical. And he was able to just hug the left side of that loop, was able to be in the throttle, had the car turning well. If you're rolling up through that loop and the car's not turning, or if the rear grip isn't there, you're going to just have to not be in the gas, and that's going to cost you speed. Austin clearly had a good handling car through there, and it showed up on timing.
The second group a little bit faster than that first group. Sheldon Creed a faster lap for first, and then also right now Sammy Smith a faster lap for 5th than what we saw in the first group.
Yeah, and I'm a little surprised we're seeing Hill run a second lap. I assume with 4 minutes left, they just feel that there's more pace and other cars that could come run. Another look right here of Sieg. I believe this is turn 1. Oh, Blue Cross Blue Shield banner there, barely getting touched.
A kiss.
I hope they have, like, just, you know, a second set of banners for tomorrow so they get full coverage on Sunday, because I'm not sure they're going to be quite as pristine as they are now at the end of the race. See, how about those brake markers, like the highway signs?
Yep.
I was impressed. So track walk, there was one yesterday and today. I mean, so many drivers out there, and everyone are trying to accomplish something different. Some were talking about the surface, some were talking about the visuals, some were talking about you know, how they plan on driving the track. A few of them were carrying a camera, videoing, kind of literally walking around and just talking about what they're seeing.
Yeah, walking the line that they would be on in their car.
I know that because I walked in front of one of them and he said, hey, I can't see the track if you're in front of me. I had to apologize and get out of the way.
And it was a lot of walking, guys. I walked more yesterday than I think I have in this last year. A little update on Austin Hill. He picked up almost a half a second on that second lap. So he went to P2, 131 flat. I was with you, Steve. I didn't really understand why he was running to put another lap on those tires. He did go up the board, but he was already locked into that top 5. So we'll see if that cost him when he goes back on that same set of tires in this final group.
Brennan Poole on board. That was impressive, Jeff, that second lap. You know, I don't think of Brennan as a road courser, but when you look at his numbers, right, 50% of his starts, 8 of them, 4 times he finished inside the top 10. So he figures a way to hang around and kind of be there when it matters. This is a great look watching the driver. You know, we think when they turn right, I know it sounds silly, but, you know, he's on the left side of the car, so you see his eyes in that clear shield look to the right to try to find that point on the wall. We're talking inches. Right here, you'll see it again. You're kind of looking over there, trying to find that mark.
Yeah, Steve, that's such an important part of all of racing, not just road racing. Look where you want the car to be, like not where you are. You look way ahead where you want to place the car. If you don't look where the car needs to be, the car will never get there. So Brennan right now, you would think maybe he's just looking over that nose, but he's not. He's looking as far ahead. He's looking at that tire barrier. Now he's looking to the left. Now he's looking to the right. All of those visuals are what give you the cues to when to go to the gas, when to get off the brakes. What you feel and what you see is how you drive a race car. And what you decide to look at makes a great deal of difference in where you end up putting the car.
I had a story this week. A race car driver told me that he was really good at a track and he was lapping a car, and his spotter said, you see him up there, and he goes, and I looked a groove up at the lap car. He goes, well, heck, that's where I drove the car. Like, I looked right and I drove it right. I never heard that happen, but it's funny, made me laugh. You see Sammy Smith sitting in 5th, Sage Karam 6th, top 5 run again. That's important. A lot of green checks. You pointed out earlier. That means they're on the racetrack. So you see everyone around that red line on the left-hand side of your screen. Everybody around that red line is trying to go out and improve.
Pushing it maybe just a little bit too hard is Brennan Poole here.
Manny took a little banner off.
I think that might have been part of the wrap. It wasn't blue.
The wall's wrapped, the car's wrapped.
Oh,
man. 91 right there. Dexter Bean.
Yeah, he's off track.
See where he is. I think that's the exit of 2. Oh, man. It's Sam Mayer. I believe Dexter Bean.
Yeah.
Heading there had to affect Sam Mayer entering the screen. He probably had no idea. Maybe they were exclusive to one another, but it seems very odd that they were both there at that same time.
Yeah, Dexter going the wrong way, and then you see the one flying in there, Sam Mayer, not happy.
Steve, I think that is something that we're going to have to watch all weekend. I think NASCAR is going to have to. A lot of times on road courses, they'll hold the caution, right? They'll wait to see if the guy can get clear. But on this road course, with 90-degree corners, you can't see. So I think NASCAR is going to have to throw more cautions than they normally would on road courses.
So the 91 of Bean just loses rear grip, a little bit like John Hunter earlier in practice. And now he's sitting here backwards in traffic trying to figure out, hey, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? And as he pulls over, look at the one. You have to wonder, you know, when you commit to a corner at the 2/3 mark, you are, oh, yeah, there is definite disagreement here.
Not happy.
You know, I believe the one, you know, he's expecting to use that space on corner exit. All of a sudden, the 91's here.
Well, here he is. You can see his expression is displeasure. Sam needs to just calm down right now and get the car in there, get it fixed. He's not going to have a terrible starting spot. I don't think there's enough damage here, Steve, to ruin his weekend. But you can imagine if you're Sam Mayer, you make that right, and you are seeing a car essentially coming toward you. That would be an exceptionally intimidating and scary feeling. Traffic flows the same way on a racetrack. It's not opposing traffic. He turns that corner, and there's a car heading to him. There's no way that didn't obscure him.
Bean goes, well, there's the Bean, by the way, of Chicago. Bean goes the wrong way on a one-way street, and Sam Mayer has to avoid.
And we are back at the Chicago Street Race. You're seeing the top 5 out of each group moving on to the second round. One of those drivers, Parker Klickerman. Give us a sense of what it feels like to race the streets of Chicago.
Well, at the beginning of practice, I looked up through turn 7 and 8 and 9, and I saw a bunch of buildings. And I was heading directly for a wall, and then I had to divert from that wall and get away from those buildings. And I thought, okay, that's street course racing. But, hey, our Spike Light course, Chevy Camaro, has been good. I'm giving up about half a second, 6/10 in 2 places that I know I can go find. So it's probably about up to me finding 3 or 4 tenths to go fight for the pole. But this is so fun. I mean, we're street course racing in between walls and stock cars and NASCAR. It's unbelievable. I have hit the wall. I did that quite hard into 4. I'm sorry to my team. Little mistake. Here we go. Yep. Nope. Just had it. Didn't have it. So I had done that earlier, and it worked really well. It caught right at the last moment, and I went P1 earlier in the day. And so I thought, okay, that's the way to do it. What I found out is that you can actually go too far. So, yeah, that didn't work. But hopefully we can go find a little something and go fight for this pole.
All right, sounds like some lessons learned here in the first round of qualifying. Parker Klickerman will be part of Group 2, and we will be back from Chicago Street Race shortly.
Back in downtown Chicago, time to find out who's going to be on the pole for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. There is Navy Pier coming up in a little bit. We'll have NASCAR America and then Cup Series practice and qualifying. That is all right here on USA. And then later, the Xfinity Series race from the downtown streets of Chicago. Buckingham Fountain is the location of the Peacock Pit Box, and we've upgraded, Brad Daugherty. We've upgraded to a Hall of Famer joining us, Tom Jarrett, here, and I think the excitement is certainly still here with the new street course, but DJ, I think the reality is setting in as well. As Parker mentioned a moment ago, they're finding out this street course is tough.
Yeah, you know, we kind of been talking about that it might be that, but when they started out and the top speed was 1:40 and they're early in practice, and everybody kind of stayed around there, now they're 9 seconds faster than that. This place gets a lot more narrow and a lot more difficult when you start chasing that scoring pylon and looking at that. Somebody goes faster, is your tendency to want to go faster yet? And we saw exactly, Parker explained it perfectly. He tried to get just a little bit more out of it and got himself into the wall a little bit, and we're only going to see that continue.
Yeah, just think about this, though, guys. We haven't even gone racing yet. This is going to be just electric when they drop that green flag. These fans are starting to pile in here. This is an awesome sight, looking at all these people. This is going to be a fantastic day to watch NASCAR racing. I cannot wait for the green flag. Let's go racing, guys. Come on.
And all the streets you know in Chicago, Lakeshore, Michigan Ave, all a part of it. Also, the food is part of it, big
that's
guy.
what I'm talking
I
about.
think those pizzas are for you. They're
Yes,
coming
they are.
this way. We're going to send one to Steve and Rick, too.
Show me some love.
Yeah. Well, Chicago Dog as well, back with the pole in a moment.
Now I'm excited.
NASCAR Tracks, that's your official app of NASCAR. It's the latest race and event information from your favorite tracks. You can search NASCAR Tracks in the App Store to download for free and start using today. Guessing that Chicago Street Course has been added. And Steve, how about this? Would you give this a shot?
Oh, in a heartbeat. I have better form than that.
Was that like a gainer? That
it was. He was
came
trying
off
to
of
do,
there?
what was the can opener,
Yeah,
big splash.
can opener.
It's a great time right there.
A lot of fun had by all. I think right now, because Brad Daugherty and DJ are not covering this final round, I think they have probably either tried to figure out how to get on one of these boats or find one of the food vendors in the area.
As long as that wildlife stays in the aquarium back there, I'm okay. This over in that aquarium.
Yeah, 1,500 different species of wildlife over there.
About 1,400 I don't want to swim with. So
if there's food on that boat, that's where they're going, because they're going to get food and the boat.
That's a
But
good
look at this.
Chicago dog.
Yeah, Chicago style. You know, one of the things I was reading about, Chicagoans don't really care for ketchup. That's not a big deal.
I don't do. You do ketchup on a dog? I'm a no ketchup guy.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
no
man.
ketchup on a dog. But you saw the pickle slice?
So I have to order it with the pickle, so they feel like I'm getting a Chicago dog, then I throw the pickle off.
Okay.
But you can't do that in front of the person who like, you got to take it like original and then customize it in the distance.
You're hearing cars, and they are on track. That's Austin Hill in the 21.
And here we go, Rick. Track position is going to be important in this race. Everyone who's made this final round, the top 10 cars, they're feeling good about their starting spot. How much are they willing to risk to go from, say, row 4 to row 1, row 3 to row 1?
Again, this will set the top 10 starting positions for this afternoon's race. Who will win the first ever pole on a street course?
Lead the field.
Yes.
The green later this afternoon. That'll be on your resume, the picture. That isn't, when you're like Austin Hill and you win 3 races in a season, you're going to win a lot of stuff. What are you going to put in your trophy room? What are you going to put in your office? I'm going to tell you, if it was front row at the street course at Chicago, coming down Columbus to the green flag, that would be a picture that would make your office.
Yeah, and everything we just talked about, you guys just talked about, that is fun and awesome and great. But it also can be a distraction. You're literally racing inside of a city on a racetrack that was just built. How do you focus? How do you put all that behind you? Because for Austin Hill right now, it's just about driving a race car to its max capacity. And that's what he's got to make happen here to get a great qualifying run in. It switches from, oh no, what are we happening into, let's go win, let's go sit on the pole. It's a major challenge emotionally to shift those gears from being afraid of the unknown to embracing laying a lap time down.
31:45 is what Hill puts in his first lap. Looks like he's going to keep digging, see if he can grab another one. Creed is 30:98, fastest of the 2 that have been on the clock.
On board right
was
here.
third.
Yeah, on board with Connor Mozak in the 19.
About ready to cross the finish line for his lap. He was second quickest.
He was. To your point about running a second lap, you see the timer, 6 minutes remaining. No harm, no foul in running a second lap at this point. You're not going to get 2 runs if you come to pit road and try to sit for a minute.
Hit the chip. .142.
Second gear in this corner.
Finishes his lap there.
That was fun riding along with him. P2, good lap for Connor. It was fun to hear how many shifts he had to do, downshifts. When he downshifted, you could hear him on the brakes. Really good lap for Connor Mozak. Be really proud of that.
A little bit of work to the back of the 20 of John Hunter Nemechek in practice. Slid around and backed that one into one of the tire barriers. We see him coming off track after posting the second fastest time right now, 1:30.71.
And Sheldon Crean at the top went faster on his second lap. Improved.
Parker Kligerman a 1:33.6. Allgaier now on track.
Parker had to have, that's a pretty far off pace for Parker. He had to have a moment on his lap for the 1:33.
Into 7 for Allgaier. Even Michigan Avenue's a little bumpy.
You can see how bumpy it is. See that car bouncing around. This right-hander in the gas hard, heavy braking, driving right underneath me. You can see his hands, how much he's working in there. Just took the green flag.
Allgaier trying to put a lap together. Talked to him about being an Illinois native and so proud to be here in his home state. Actually made the comment, and I don't know what hotel it's in, but his hotel room was 707. He said, that's a sign. And that's a sign for me to have a great run. I'd like to win here, the first ever street course. Cole Custer puts up a big lap of 130.42. As we compare to Cole Custer, 9/10 of a second off is Allgaier. Making up a little bit of ground as he heads towards 6.
Be very hard to make up 3/4 of a second, I believe. He would have to hit everything just unbelievably perfect. This isn't a place, we've talked about it many times, that's not a place to try to get too much. It's, you see what he did. He looked like he almost had a little bit of front slide, a rear sliding around. We did see some people make some gains here, and he's trying. That car is all over the racetrack, but it hurt him. You know, it actually hurt him, Steve, where that's the thing about this road course. Like, trying harder does not always mean you're going to go faster. Sometimes you can exceed the tire's grip, and that actually makes the car go slower.
I do like that lap, though, for Allgaier, because when I look at the platform of the car, we see Sheldon Creed and the 2 go to P2. How about this? 2.2 miles, 12 corners, and they are basically 2/100ths of a second from first to second. Creed trying to improve on his lap time. What I was going to talk about the 7 is all that body roll I think will help on old tires, having grip when the pace slows down. We'll see if that does show up in the race. Here comes the 2, Jeff. He only needs a couple tenths of a second in that same very technical section.
Yeah, let's see if he can get it done. Right there in the gas hard. Oh, he's in trouble. Oh, big impact.
Yeah, hard into the wall.
Oh, that started early. That started early in the corner. Just trying to carry too much speed, maybe some brake issues, and never could get it slowed down. That was into turn 8, right-hander.
And Jeff, this is what you talked about, was sitting second, pushing for that pole position, pushing to be P1. And now this team's entire day has changed. This will absolutely be a backup car. The race is only a few hours away. All of the preparation, what would have been, man, we were close. What do we need to fine-tune? Here are the haulers all the way down on Lakeshore Drive. This 2 team now has a tremendous amount of work in front of them. We talk about how beautiful Chicago is. All that's gone.
Yeah.
For this team, it's a race day. You see the frustration. They know what's in front of them. There's going to be a ton of work.
Here it is right here. So you see he's in pretty deep, and he's in trouble. Just watch, keep following, keep following. So right there, just carrying too much speed on corner entry, and the car just doesn't have the grip. See it? It's around way before he gets in the corner.
It's that big bump right there. Jeff seems to just really upset the car.
Yeah, and Steve, this is the balance that every race car driver goes through every lap. How far can I push it before it's too far? And when you operate on the edge of grip and you cross over it on a track like this with walls on both sides, very few runoffs, this is what you will see happen. This is the price you pay when you push that hard. I will say this, Cole Custer, to sit on the pole, he pushed hard. He had to push hard to sit on the pole, and that's just what you do as a race car driver. That's what makes it great, and that's what also makes it devastating like this. When it all works out, you're a hero, but when it doesn't, you feel like you let your entire team down, not only the guys at the track, but the guys back at the shop.
The team's assessing. So NASCAR has to approve a backup car. I think that would be an easy approval here, but for the team, you know what state your backup car's in. You understand how much work that's going to be. I mean, this is severe damage. This isn't a huge aerodynamically sensitive racetrack, though. Even at the high speeds, they're mostly straightaway speeds. The corners are relatively slow. I mean, this looks like it would be just an almost impossible undertaking to repair this car, but these teams every year find different ways to repair wrecks. And we'll see what this RCR team led by Jeff Stankiewicz, the crew chief for Sheldon Creed. You see him right there, just kind of talking to his driver. And
Steve, right when he hit the wall, we see the Cup guys coming in. So that ends the qualifying run for the Xfinity Series. Cole Custer has won the first ever pole on a street course for NASCAR, and it's in the Xfinity Series. So Cole Custer, his 16th career pole. There he is out of the car, and look who he's talking to.
Oh, yeah, Chase Briscoe found his buddy right away.
Yeah.
He said, hey, all right, so we walked it, we talked it, now how does it drive? What do I need to know? I mean, this short little conversation could be exactly what Cole Custer, or excuse me, Chase Briscoe needs for his practice coming up.
Take a look at the starting grid, and Cole Custer was fastest. You see Sheldon Creed, he was second quickest on a lap that he was able to get in, but he'll have to go to either a backup car or make changes to that car, which puts him at the back of the field.
Yeah, you see Daniel Hemrick, Parker Clement, the last two in that final round. Riley Herbst back there in row 8. Miguel Paludo, row 9. We don't see him often. We see him at the road courses, though. His teammate Josh Berry back in row 12.
Here, Brad Perez, the 53, in row 14. Andre Castro, first time ever in an Xfinity car, and he's starting up there inside of row 14. And we mentioned earlier, 5 would have to go home. There is the list of those drivers that will not be racing later this afternoon. Let's hear from the pole winner. Kim standing by with him.
Cole Custer winning the first ever NASCAR pole on a street race course. For you, what kind of milestone is this, not only for the meaning of it, but then what that means for the race later this afternoon?
I mean, it's huge. I mean, we're in Chicago, buildings right there. I mean, this is, when we got here, this is the coolest thing that we've done in NASCAR. I don't even know since when. I mean, this is pretty unreal, and our guys are clicking on all cylinders here. I mean, they brought me a great, really fast Haas Automation Ford Mustang. Just can't thank Gene Haas and Tony and everybody at SHR. That's really, this program's really running good right now, and we just got to keep it rolling into the playoffs. But it's going to be a crazy race. I mean, right there, I only did 1 lap because I felt like I was going to wreck on the second one. So it's going to be a really edgy race, but it definitely takes your breath away.
I love it. Takes your breath away. That's Cole Custer will lead the field to green later this afternoon.
Looking at the skyline, too, we heard him as we take another peek at Lake Michigan and the boats out there. NASCAR America coming up next from right here in Chicago.